We have a global trial up and running. Um, there are 80 patients total in the trial. There are 4 arms of the trial, 3 different doses of our drug versus the standard dose of growth hormone. And the 3 doses of the drug are starting with 0.8 mg per kg a day. That's the highest dose that's been used before this trial. The safety profile of the drug is outstanding. So the FDA allowed us to double the dose to 1.6 in a second arm of 20 patients. And then the third arm, they allowed us to quadruple the dose to 3.2 mg per kg a day. And all patients will be on drug for an extended period of time, actually several years. But the endpoint we're looking at is catch-up growth or growth at 6 months annualized. And now we're going to report top-line results on a full 20 patients in each one of those arms and those cohorts on drug for 6 months annualized in the fourth quarter of this year. But we'll have a very robust data set because there's going to be at least 12 patients in each arm who will be on drug for a year, then a smaller number of patients on for 18 months, and a smaller number of patients that will be able to look at endpoint of height velocity at 2 years. And that is a very robust data set for a phase 2b study. Now, we wanted to look at the data in the study with only 10 patients. So we did in the study. So a number of months ago, we looked at and had an interim look at the data. And we reported that a number of months ago, and we're quite pleased with the results. So to get some kind of reference about how these patients grow with moderate growth hormone deficiency, what we looked at is some databases that have been kept for a number of years by large companies like Pfizer and Eli Lilly, Genentech, but others. And when we apply our diagnostic review and selection process to pull out those moderate patients and know that they still have an intact pituitary, then we know that those moderate patients on growth hormone grow about 8.3 to 8.6 centimeters a year. And when we had our patients, we looked at that interim look with just 6 patients in each cohort, we found that they grew 8.6 centimeters. So we were pretty pleased with that. And now there was a bit of an imbalance in the growth hormone arm. Everyone knows that the younger patients have the greatest catch-up growth, and there was an imbalance of by over 10 months as a younger group of patients in the growth hormone arm. So that arm grew better, but as we got to full enrollment, that balance returned in terms of not just age, but any number of other factors that that allows us to predict that we're going to have a good outcome in this study. And in addition to that, this study I just described has been highly de-risked in an important way. And that is, we can choose patients who still have an intact pituitary, who meet our what we call predictive enrichment markers positive patients, by giving them a dose of our drug, before they start the study, take a blood draw an hour later, and then measure 2 growth factors that have been measured in this space for a very long time. One is just their growth hormone that they produce. And the other one is a secondary growth factor called IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1. And if growth hormone is at least 5 centimeters or 5 nanograms per ml, or the IGF-1 levels are at least 30 or more, then we know that's a patient that still has a functioning pituitary, but they don't make enough growth hormone, and that our drug will help those patients. And so we de-risk this whole program by only selecting those patients prior to them entering the study with that predictive enrichment marker strategy.